Yeah, good afternoon, friends. It's good to be back here once again. And like we say, sorry for coming late. We had a little um, itch. I had to sleep. It's Saturday's rest day for me, and I need to rest. The body needs rest. Work 6 days out of 7. Because Sunday for me it's work day. Go to church and minister in church and so many things to do. So Saturdays my rest day. I even refuse to watch clothes on Saturdays. I don't like washing clothes. So rest, pure rest, all that. And probably ministers meeting. So now we want to talk about something that I find very very significant. Like I said, everything we'll be discussing from Inspiring Moments with John Obuku. It's based on what I have written in a book yet to be published, and I'm believing from this our discussion we'll be able to publish it. Inspiring Moments. This is the manuscript. Inspiring Moments, which is reverse in your camera, reverse camera actually. So Inspiring Moments with John Obuku. So we want to talk about something that can lead to your significant living. By the way, I have some visitors here with me. Let me just introduce them. Let me not be rude. They are my men, my niggas. We have Obuku here, it's my friend, and we also have it's Ronaldo. If you go on Facebook, you see Ronaldo. Then you see Michael Long, Michael Fresh. They are my friends, friends. They came to pay me a visit. Nice. So we want to talk about lifelong learning, and I tell me it's the key to significant living. Lifelong learning. Are you a person that learns all through life? Lifelong learning. Are you a person that is have that open mind? Mr. Cavalicious Cabal, you're welcome. That's my boss, Oga boss. I greet you, sir. The Austin Erame. Oibo, my friend Oibo from Uniben, I greet you. Welcome, sir. I'm honored. Lifelong learning is the key to significant living. When last did you learn? We said in the first segment by 12 o'clock edition. When last did you do any significant reading? Brian Tracy says something in his book Goals that if you want to become an expert in your field of study, you should at least read 1 hour a day in your chosen field of endeavor. So when last do you read in your field? Do you have new knowledge in your field of endeavor? It's important to commit ourselves to lifelong learning. In as much as our kids are growing up, we want to train them to know how to read and write. But we parents, do they see us read? Do they see us parents read? Do you really read in front of your kids? Because they will read better if they see you read also. And I've come to know that the secret to productive life is a life that is given to constant learning. You want to learn, because the more you learn, the more you grow. You become more significant in life, and say leaders and readers are leaders. And once you are a reader, you learn new things, and you now stand in the position of influencing others. So they also say if you stop learning, you start dying. You stop learning, you start dying. So, and I've come to know that is very true, because even though if you have a graduate or a degree in a particular course and you now leave yourself to with the old knowledge you learned 10 years ago from school, you don't upgrade your knowledge. Some other young kids will come around the block and they will steal the show. They will be the bright ones in your field of study, and they will outshine you. They will be smarter and they will be promoted, and you'll be left behind. So you should attend seminars. You should look for ways to improve yourself. You should look for things to do that will make you ever relevant. So what are you doing to make yourself ever relevant? I've come to ask this question time and time again. When last did you read any book? When last did you read any meaningful literature? Not pleasure reading, but a literature that will actually add to your knowledge. Are you an expert in your field over how many years now that you are a graduate? Are you an expert in your field, even your vocation? Are you an expert? Are you a quality seamstress or tailor? Are you a quality fashion designer? Are you a quality IT person? Are you good in your field after so many years? The key to you being good is lifelong learning. It's part of self-development actually, and it gives your life a new meaning when you learn new things. Like what I'm doing now, it's another phase of my lifelong learning. To be able to stay before the camera and talk to you, it's not easy. I have big men before me, and it's a challenge to sound intelligent. It's a challenge to contribute something meaningful. I hope I'm making sense. So you can comment and ask questions actually, so it gives me more um, leverage or push to do more. So I've come to know that your education should not stop with your formal schooling. We learned in the first segment, the 12 o'clock hour edition, that there are two schools in life: the formal academic university and the life university. Now, the life university is what you do after the 4 walls of the academic institution. How good you've now developed yourself such that you are now relevant. You are now relevant, and you keep on churning out good works, good things in your field of endeavor. And I think that's one of the reasons, one of the things that Inspire Moments is all about. We want to commit ourselves to learning new things. We want to commit ourselves to becoming relevant in our field of endeavor. So I suggest you take embark on certain conscious step that leads to a continuous life of long-term learning, and that process, it actually automatically guarantees success. I say again, committing yourself to lifelong learning automatically guarantees success. Why? It builds you. So success, in its true definition, is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. What are you progressively working towards? What do you want to achieve in life? I like asking this question: in the next 5-10 years, what will people know you to become? What will people know you as? Now, so the process of lifelong learning includes some of the following steps. Not exhaustive; they are just some of the following steps. Now, one, buying and reading quality books. Buy and read quality books. You should buy and read quality books. Read materials that are motivational, that are inspirational. Listen to talks that, like this one now, Inspiring Moments with John Obuku. It's aimed at inspiring you. It's aimed at challenging your thought process. It's aimed at making you become somebody better. Let's talk to one another. That's how I appreciate your comments, Mr. Cabal and Mr. Austin, that is live watching me. I would like you to say something so that I know that you are listening. Now, also, so buy motivational books, inspirational books, spiritual books, something that has to build your personal and career, build you personally and career wise. You have to have that. Then also you have to seek and attend any seminar. Career talks, financial education seminars, business entrepreneurial seminars, and personal development, multiple streams of income seminars. How to make this, how to make that, whatever you have interest in, because really life, for you to be rich this day, you have to be dynamic. You can't be a one-stream person. We are discussing with my friends behind me now that any rich man you see today, they actually are multi-income, if I can use that word. They have multiple streams of income, and they tend to do so many things that brings money for them. 1 or 2 3 businesses. So if you are somebody that is tied to only one business, I experienced that. I tell you, it's not funny to have only one stream of income. It's not funny. It's terrible. You'll be cash strapped almost every time. Probably 24 hours after your salary, you don't have any salary. Does that sound familiar? 24 hours after you receive your green alert, you are broke and looking for transport to sail through the next month. It shouldn't be so. You need to attend seminars, financial education seminars, and multiple streams of income seminars, and get knowledge, requisite knowledge on how to improve yourself. Then 3, you have to commit yourself to building a personal library. Now, what you see at the background is just a fraction of my salary, my library. I call it the Word Wisdom and Power Library. Whatever I'm saying now are some of the things I've read like 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago. I'm not just reading them now. I'm not reading material Like this topic, what I lifelong, I wrote this 2009. This is 2017. What lifelong learning? It's in the book Inspiring Moments. I wrote it 2009, not 2017. So you can see what I'm saying. It's not, to me, it's not new. It's what I've learned over time. It's what I've learned over time, and I'm trying to disseminate that. We'll publish the book. You and I will publish the book, so you have your copy. And commit yourself to building out this library, a personal library involving different books, inspirational books, motivational books, and you tend to develop your scope. You understand? So your library should be so rich that at any age bracket you should be able to read it. From your library, your children should be able to pick relevant materials to read. Your library should involve a dictionary, Christian book, motivational books, good books, science, good books. There are books and there are books, so read good books. Then also commit to reading a book per month. Commit to reading a book per month. Commit to reading a book per month. Then you get very proficient, and you could increase it to 2 or 3 books per month. It's possible. For me, I read a chapter of a different book per day. It sounds challenging, but that's what I do. I love variety. I read a chapter of a different book per day. So that I guess because library, there are so many things to read from. I cannot just sit with one book all through. Some people do that, but it's a bit challenging for me. So I like reading a chapter of a different book, get 1 or 2 things so that I'll have something to tell you when we come online, and develop the positive attitude of ever ready to learn something, each new day. At the end of the day, you should know more than what you knew yesterday. At the end of the day, you should know more what you knew yesterday, because life is about learning. And then commit your lessons into, I call it a lessons learned journal, or a life lessons journal, whereby you have not just of wisdom that you can pass on to your kids. You understand? It's very, very important. So in conclusion, for now, because I don't want to take our time so much, I tend to want to make Inspiring Moments very short, so that we learn fast in this fast-paced world. Fast food, fast track, fast this. I don't want to take your time, and I'll just go through the steps again. 1, buy and read quality books. If you want to commit yourself to lifelong learning, get this: buy and read quality books, motivational books, inspirational books, spiritual literature that helps to develop a personal and career wise. Then seek to and attend a seminar, career talks, financial institution shows, and business entrepreneurs skills development seminars. Develop yourself, have multiple streams of income. Understand? Then 3, commit yourself to build a personal library. Variety of books, personal library. What you see in background is just a fraction of what I have. My library is actually huge. Then commit to reading a book per month. Read in your area of study, your area of specialty. If you're an IT person, you should read IT books. You should read latest IT developments. If you're a business person, you should know the globally accepted practices in your field of study. You should know the current standards that govern. Like, I'm an accountant, I should know the current international financial reporting standards. I should know the current standard accounting statement and all that. I should know the statement of accounting standards. I should know these things. I should be vast and current in my field of study. Understand? You should not be telling me you 1982 accounting. No, I should be speaking 2017 accounting. Understand? Then read a book per month. Read a book per month. Read readers and leaders. Then lastly, commit a positive attitude of learning, lifelong learning. Always want to learn. And when you do these 5 things, I believe you get to the top. I want to appreciate Mr. Cabal, my boss, Oga for life, and all Nerame, my friend, roommate, friend, a very nice, cool guy, quiet guy. I call him Obuku. Nice guy. I appreciate you, sir. Your comments and questions are appreciated, and I want to leave this to you. See you at the top. Take action, take charge. You are destined for the top. We'll see you next week. The grace of God. Have an inspiring week. God bless you.